Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to a Citizencon update video. Now, the live stream was actually yesterday. It was obviously live in Birmingham yesterday, so for the people that are not aware of this, Star Citizen hosted an event at Citizencon in Birmingham. Went really well, guys. There was no hiccups, the streaming went well, the content was really good. I'll leave some links in the description, but I'm pretty much going to cover off most of the things that were seen in the video. And also, I'll put the best bits at the end so you can just don't have to watch the whole couple of hours. Okay, let's start off. The next patch we're going to see is going to be SC Alpha 1.3.0. It's a small update, and this is going to do some fixes, some improvements. There's a couple of new additions to ArcCorp. I think Buggy's going in and a few other bits and bobs. Nothing too dramatic, really. The second thing that they mentioned is they now set up a referral scheme. So this means that anyone that is a SC member already and you have a package, you can actually use the referral link. I think if you get something like 25, you just get a couple of little ships and bits and bobs. I think you get a fish tank and some other things as well. I've got my referral link, guys. What I'm probably going to do is give away the bits. I've got most of the bits already anyway. I think it's a buggy, a fish tank and something else. I'll leave the link below. Oh, actually, one thing I did miss out on. With this actual referral link, you actually get 500 UEC. If you want to look at it this way, guys, you get $5, but you get UEC currency. And secondly to that, you don't actually have to purchase a ship. You can just go and register. So even if you just go over there to register to secure your gaming name as such, your in-game name, you get $5 for it. So seems like a good deal to me. Moving on. The next big patch we're going to see, and I don't know if it's really a patch, I'm probably going to call this Star Citizen 2.0. That's what it is. It's going to be the biggest update we've seen so far, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a part of the universe called Crusader. Now, this is on the big world map. We will get 38 missions. The total size of the big world map, the total map, is trillion kilometers. So yeah, that's pretty big, guys. That's actually massive. So plenty of playing area there. Looking so far, it's supposed to be one of the largest maps out there. I don't know what Elite Dangerous is these days, but we will start in a smaller part of the system to start with. The reason being is because obviously to fly the whole distance is going to take quite some time, so sort of pointless at the moment. The idea of this sort of test alpha stage now is actually testing the bed for FPS. There'll be FPS landing zones as well. There will be 3 space stations that you can actually visit in space. There will also be a few repair platforms and also rearming platforms. So you can actually fly around, attack things. There's going to be missions you can do. And then further on down the line, this is going to be the bed for testing the rest of the mechanics for the game. So we're going to see like a mining module where we go and do microvoxel or voxel mining. We're going to then see jump ports and then so on and so on and so on. And then once it's all defined and been tested, then obviously the universe will expand. We're also going to see a couple of new control systems come into play. I don't know if you remember quite a while ago when we originally got the training module for Star Citizen, and when you're inside the hangar, it's very, very difficult to do sort of small movements, particularly if you're using mouse and keyboard. They've introduced some new modes now, and it sort of makes sense. There's going to be a sort of low movement mode for maneuvering, so maybe when you're landing, taking off and so on, where you don't want to just smash a ship all over the place. You then have SCM. This is space combat mode, what we've already sort of seen, and that's the sort of mode we're getting in Arena Commander when you're fighting. You've got then 2 other modes, which is Super Cruise and Quantum, which is basically 2 different types of speed modes. I like the way they've done that because it makes it a lot easier to flip between their modes and you don't have to change your control settings or sensitivities to react to them different scenarios. So good call, looking forward to seeing that, and hopefully it should make it landing and doing them sort of smaller movements a lot easier. And actually, if you think about it, that's going to be really, really important when you're doing something like mining or something like that, or you're doing something in space that requires very, very small movement. It doesn't necessarily have to be landing, does it? Moving on, we have something really, really cool here, guys, and that is the star map. The star map's actually gone live on the RSI site, and I've got to say, I've never seen a web-based system look that amazing. I mean, you wouldn't believe that it was actually hosted off a website. I don't know how they've done it, but it definitely looks incredible. Some really cool stuff there. You get to see the whole entire map system of Star Citizen. At the presentation, they also showed mapping routes out. You can avoid routes if you don't want to go that way and you want to avoid it. There's a heat map system as well, where it shows you high crime areas and high population areas. So if you want to avoid them, you can avoid them as well. There's the ability to look at the landing zones, zoom in, zoom out, rotate. I mean, you go and play with yourself, guys. It's pretty cool, I must say. There's also been some updates to the RSI site as well. There was a new ship announced as well, which was the Sabre. So I'll leave a link there just to take a look. It's the smallest ship, guys. I don't know if you're going to be interested in that, but I'll leave the link in the description below and you can go and take a look. Now, moving on to some of this sort of really cool stuff, I suppose. There's a lot of good stuff we saw out of this presentation, and that was around Squadron 42. Squadron 42 is a campaign mode, single player, or let's just say multiplayer at some point where, you know, people can join in and help you on missions. But it's sort of your personal career in the UEE, and you have different responses, and depending on what you say is depending what the outcome's going to be. So I really like that. It looks incredible, guys. I mean, even at this early stage, I mean, we're talking alpha. I can see, if you look at Arena Commander, and you look at how that's progressed from day one and the fidelity and detail, and you're looking at the alpha now of Squadron 42, I mean, it looks pretty impressive now. Once they've applied that, clean things up and tidy things up and iron things out, it's going to be incredible, guys. RSI went into some detail, actually talking about the face models as well. They're using some, I don't want to say new technology, but technology that's not normally used within the CryEngine. The CryEngine has quite limited technology for facial and heat maps and so on. But I'll leave that at the end of the video as well, and you can have a watch through on that and you'll get a better understanding, because it goes into quite a lot of detail. Probably too much for me to probably explain, and to be perfectly honest, I don't really understand it. It just sounds good and it looks incredible. We also had a tour around the Idris. I think we've all been looking forward to that. Absolutely massive. I mean, we probably only saw quite a small portion of it. Looked really good, guys. One of the things that I was actually quite excited about, and I thought was really cool, I don't know what you guys think, but in the video you're going to see the engine room, and I'm so pleased they went into that fidelity and detail in the engine room, because the fear is you know, you're just going to be a ship and the engine room doesn't exist. You know, you've just got engines, and I love the fact that they've gone into that detail, almost like in Star Trek when you had the engine room and, you know, all that sort of stuff, and it's got that same feel environment. I thought that was really cool. You're going to have a quick glimpse of that in the video as well. Also, throughout the stream they gave a bonus code. Now guys, I'm going to share the bonus code with you. I've put it in the description below, and that bonus code will get you all, you have to obviously have an account and you have to have a package, obviously, guys. This will get you all flyable ships in Star Citizen for the next 2 weeks. Great opportunity, guys. I mean, if you've got a small ship now and you want to go and try out some other ships, you know, you don't necessarily have to buy now. You could fly a Hornet or try something out and see if you like it, and then later on in the game earn some UEE and some cash, and then go out and buy it. So definitely worth doing, guys. It seems like a no-brainer. So we've got about a year probably left, I reckon, of development until we get the full, let's say, fidelity and detail we're all sort of looking forward to. But at the same time, you can see that there's been significant progress, and I think the biggest challenge for them was definitely the big world map and how you manage that many players. If you think about it, the Idris, you could get 100 people on that. I mean, that's like, if you think of any multiplayer game out there now, 100 players, that's just on one ship. The ship is a game itself. And I think that was the biggest achievement that's been done here in gaming technology, really, is to have a vast amount of area where you can see other players interacting on other ships. So I'm seeing this year now of sharpening it up, getting the rest of the Squadron 42 in line, testing out all the other modules. So plenty of time. Very excited, guys. Can't wait. We're probably going to see the large world map soon. Who knows what soon means, but weeks, months, who knows, guys. But I'm hoping actually we're going to see it this part of this year. I would have thought so. Fingers crossed, eh? So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I've put some really sort of cool bits that I really enjoyed to save you going through the couple of, 2 or 3 hours. Enjoy, guys.
To Stanton. 85 to Stanton. Got a late transfer and a last batch of supplies. Requesting permission to land.
Stand by. Hold for landing assignment. You're clear to land.
Copy. On approach.
You must be the new pilot. Jeez, they really got you jammed in here, huh? Welcome to the Stanton. I'm Eugene Morrow,
Morrow,
Chief
get
Engineer.
out of the way.
Excuse me.
What's the number on that one?
This one's ID 523R6.
Okay, got it.
Excuse me, sir.
Seriously, Morrow? I'll tell you when we find your converters. You? Lieutenant Commander Kelly wants you to report to the briefing room?
Jeez, Webb. That's how you welcome someone aboard? You're not even going to introduce yourself.
I'm Petty Officer Webster, Chief Mechanic. You should go to the briefing room.
You're hopeless,
I'm
Webb.
busy.
I'm heading to engineering. I can give you the tour.
If he has a map, they'll be fine.
Tour sounds great.
Great! It'll only take 2 seconds. I'll wait for you by the stairs.
All good.
So you think they're gonna last longer than Heater?
Anybody will last longer than Heater. Old man hated Heater. Question is, will they last longer than Lowball?
Well, standard bet.
You might want to steer.
All set. Let's go. Sorry about before. Webb's great at her job. She takes a little while to warm up. I've been here a year. She only asked me how I was doing for the first time last week. The only person I ever see her hang out with is Kelly, and I'm pretty sure all they talk about is work. Anyway.
All entries must be immediately reported to your supervisor.
This is flight control, and this gentleman here is the one and only flight operator, Aaron Sitow.
Hey, new pilot, right? I'm sure you'll hear this all day, but welcome aboard the Stanton. I'm going to be the voice in your head while you're flying. Don't you worry, though. I'll be gentle. Oh, did you hear about Claude? He's on PD.
What did he do?
No idea, but apparently he really ticked off Kenny.
Connie's not going to believe this.
Flight Ops. Flight Ops, this is AV1. Come back.
How'd it go? Everyone, this is Flight Ops. I've got you. Just waiting for some traffic to clear the deck, but we can...
We better get out of his hair. Next stop, the main deck. Zito's great, but a bit of a gossip. Don't tell him anything you don't want the whole crew to know. Rumour has it that's why his ex left. But he's probably better off. Told me she had a gambling problem.
You seen Luther since you got back?
No? Why?
Quite a short.
Yeah? What did he do? Try to figure out a new way to minimize power leaks? Or did he go real crazy and run simulations on the latest conduit systems?
He got banned from Tasha's bar.
Start from the top.
Prepare yourself, my son. This.
And here's the mess hall. Hey everyone, this is a new pilot. Barracks in the heads through here too. Chow's pretty good. Never tried a lamb, no matter what anyone tells you.
Refer to your handbook for a complete list of contraband items. Have your declarations ready for
There you are. Did you get the converters? White wants an ETA on that relay.
Right, I might need you to grab them from Webb while I finish taking a new pilot to the briefing room. Connie, new pilot. New pilot, Starman Connie Hayes.
The Morrow Experience Tour. Lucky you. I'll go speak to her.
Ah, you're the best, Connie. Oh, remind me to tell you about Claude later.
I'm sure you will.
The Stanton's been in service for a while now. Keeps us engineers busy. But I guess it's a hell of a lot more interesting than serving on a new ship where hardly anything needs fixing. Actually, little known fact. Back when Captain White was a starman, his first assignment was on a Stanton. When he got his commission later on, he requested her special.
As you can see, the Idris is quite a big ship.
Hey, Joaquin! You hear Claude's on punishment detail again? Apparently Kelly said this is his last chance.
Oh, what'd he do?
I'll tell you about it later, after I finish giving the new pilot a tour. Hey, you two haven't formally met yet, right?
Starman watching stagger, sir. Hey, I better get this to the doc. I want to hear the rest.
Keem's a great guy. Amazing to think he was fiending on Widow a few years ago.
It's running hot.
There's something missing. The junction right, but for some reason it's spilling.
Woodrow just sent me an update. He's getting slurry.
This is me. But if you just keep heading straight on, round the bend and on the left is the briefing room. Check your mobile if you get lost. And feel free to swing by later if you get some time.
So, well, let's show the engine room here if we can. That'd be kind of cool. That's actually a
pilot. I think we're going to be best friends.
By the way, if you haven't figured it out, Morrow's the gossip aboard the ship. So this is sort of the level of attention to detail inside the Idris, which also is, by the way, the Idris everyone will fly in the persistent universe. And this has been built by Nathan Disley and his team at Squadron Foundry 42, not Squadron 42. So a whole bunch of really talented vehicle artists have all been working, building the Idris. I think this is one of the airlocks that goes to the outside. There.
At ease. Now, Captain White likes to meet everybody who comes aboard his ship, but I wanted to have a quick word first. So why don't you take a seat? Little history lesson. Sealed in 2872, the Stanton is an Aegeus Idris-class frigate. She served with the 351st Battle Group for almost 6 decades before transferring to the 87th Battle Group 10 years ago. In our last 2 assignments, we've gone from rescue and disaster relief in Ferron to perimeter sweeps along the Jean front. We handle all sorts of theatres, all sorts of situations. Now, some people have got big dreams of thrashing duel out with Bishop and think a post like this isn't worth their time, that this is a joke assignment. So I tell every new transfer this only once. We may be a small crew, but the work we do matters. And if you don't respect that, I'll make sure you spend your career scrubbing decks in the darkest corner of the Empire. Let's not keep the captain waiting.
Ladies and
Gentlemen, this emergency session is called to order. Admiral Bishop, you have the floor.
For 200 years, we have battled the Vandal. We have caught these attacks, raids, or skirmishes or incursions. But I am here to tell you that we are at war. Tiber, Orion, Caliban, Virgil, once human systems are but abandoned in the face of the enemy. The Vandal are at our gates, weapons bared while we hide and cower, retreating as they burn and decimate everything around us. We cannot let the tragedy of Vega happen again. We cannot give the Vandal any more ground. To defend this empire, we must attack. And we have to be committed to that attack, whatever the cost may be. We have to rebuild our fleet. We have to use the power of human innovation to reclaim these so-called red systems and strike back at the enemy. This will not be an easy fight. It will cost us in resources, in credits, in lives. Well, some of you may be asking why undertake such a thing, and I can tell you in one word. Victory. For if there's one thing the Vandal has taught us, it's that without victory, there can be no survival.
So, as you know, I spent a fair amount of time here in London shooting the performance capture. That's obviously the result of part of it. I have to say that it's an incredible privilege working with people like Gary Oldman and the rest of the cast that we had, because I think they're going to bring a whole nother level of emotion and performance to the game. One thing that we thought would be interesting, because we, like everything we're trying to do here on Star Citizen, we're really trying to push the technology. So that scene is 100% CryEngine, running inside CryEngine, real time. So we've pushed the faces. I would say probably Rise was the best real-time sort of face tech up until now, and this is sort of another step. So if I go here. So we're going to run you a little video that sort of shows the technical process of it, and then I'm going to start to talk a little bit about Squadron 42. So let's run the video for folks to kind of see what went together to deliver that.
My name is Sean Tracy, and I'm the Content Technical Director for Star Citizen. We've been working on our characters, and more specifically, the facial aspect of this project for quite some time, so we're excited to finally reveal this to you. Here you can see Gary Oldman, Admiral Bishop, making his speech to the Senate. In terms of technology, we've built upon the already robust systems provided by the CryEngine, and have taken them a step further to really push the boundaries of what's possible in real time on PC. The high-fidelity work that you're seeing on the facial skeleton, rig, and asset was done by 3 Lateral, and really makes all of this possible. The animations you're seeing are made with an incredible attention to detail by Cubic Motion.
My name is Vladimir Mastilovic, and I'm leading 3 Lateral Studio. We start our process with high-resolution scan data. These are scans of individually activated facial muscles, and basically each scan is consisted of several million triangles. This is a data set that cannot go efficiently in the engine. And each scan is a snapshot in time, and it doesn't have any correlation with any other scan. This is why we have written a tool that will analyze the surface of the skin and will find correspondences between each scan. Through this process, we're finding hundreds of thousands of correspondence points between each scan pair, and this enables us to produce blend shapes on any custom topology for these scans. Scans are then handled by our artists, who are examining for any unwanted motion, and they are putting it in context and modeling a constellation of hundreds of shapes that will then be used to produce a facial rig, which is essentially a digital puppet of the character, which can then be animated and transferred to a game engine as an optimized dataset. When it comes to photoreal characters, everything is important. Not only that character itself needs to look correct in terms of its shape and its texture, but it also needs to look correct when it's animated. This also needs to extend to micro level, so that skin stretching and the pore stretching, the blood flow in the skin, and even a tiny layer of fluid between the eyelid and the eyeball behaves correctly so that it maintains the illusion of a live character in a scene. Essential for doing this on such high volume project is not only having a large team,